Hello and welcome back to the Knitmancy podcast. If you are returning, and welcome if it's your first time. I am your host Valentina, coming at you from just south of Richmond, Virginia, and it's very cloudy today. The weather says it's going to storm, so we will see what happens. Hoping to get this done before it starts, if it decides to. So, I'm back. I am here. I'm not wearing anything knitted today. My hair is living its own life, as everyone's is in quarantine, I guess. And, yeah, I still don't have any finished objects to show off, but I do have a lot of returning. That's okay, because I've made quite a bit of progress on the bigger of the two things. So, I think we'll hop into it, and we'll go from there. Oh, before we do that, though, you can find me on all the socials down, I will have all of my socials that you can find me at down below. Just a short version of that is on Ravelry, I am Knittermancer. On Instagram, I am Middle of the Madness. I might also put my dog down there, so if you wanted to check out my dog, and some of my other pets show up from time to time on there. And yeah, it's like a Tumblr and a Twitch. Twitch, if you want to join me, I stream Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time till about 4, 5. It depends. A lot of times I'm combating with dog barking, so I typically try to step away and come back if I can. But otherwise, yes, I stream all sorts of video games. I might add in some game development stuff soon. We will see. But until then, you can always find me here every Friday for the foreseeable future. You know, my schedule's always likely to change. So let's get into my works in progress, and I probably could show you my spinning. It's not a huge change from what you've seen before, but there has been a little bit of spinning in the past few weeks, and I have some things to show you. One that I forgot to show, or just chose not to show because, and when that just came in the mail, it's really cool. So. I'm having a day. So, works in progress. Remember how I said I was going to have that neck square done? I did. I did. And, as I said, I went ahead and I applied the black border. Not that you can tell because my shirt is black. There you go. Now you can see. So, I finished up this square. It's done. Ends are woven in. Squares are seamed together. Border applied. My blanket's half done. Yeah. I'm actually really excited about this being as far along as it is. It's my Hue Shift Afghan, and let me just do for crochet, fold that large, and I started the next square. Oh goodness, I'm a mess. Okay, here we go. Yes, I started the next square. So this is the cool toned version of the first square I made. So essentially, I'll go through a lot of the cool tone colors in here. So the dark blue, the lighter blue, this light kind of almost, or this light blue greeny color, the light green, and the yellow, the true yellow. The other yellow is a little bit more orange toned, which let me point out this square to you because this is a good example. This square, you can't tell it's, well, you can, but it's really hard to tell that this square is 2 colors, where this square is 1 color. And I was having a heck of a time trying to make sure that I was alternating because literally with this square, it's the undertone. So the more true yellow, the less orangey yellow is canary, and then the more orangey yellow is, I think it's called like caution or something. This is the standard like rainbow kit. If all else fails, you go on Knitpicks, you look at their rainbow kit, and it will tell you. Yes, but they're together. My stripe matches. My stripes. Oop. This way. My stripes match nearly perfectly. I just sat and I mattress seamed it, and it looks so good. So, what I'm gonna do with this not so pretty side, this square, once it's all done up, which I should be starting on the 2nd row, so this one may or may not be done by next week. If it is, cool. If it's not, no biggie. But we will see. So I'll do the same thing I did with this side with the other side. And then, which includes the weaving in of ends, seaming it together and doing the black border, and then I will seam both sides together and then finish off the border. That just makes more sense to me. Because then, instead of having the entire weight of the blanket as I'm trying to knit on this black border, I only have like half of the weight of the blanket. And then I don't have to deal with all of the, then these are done. So when I go to do the other half, yeah, I have to deal with the entire weight of the blanket, or the other half of the border. Yeah, I have to deal with the entire weight of the blanket, but it's less border I have to knit like that. Picking up my needles that I lost. These are my Chiagu interchangeables. I think it's a 32 inch, and these are size 5, 3.75 millimeter. It's my favorite needles. I love the Chiagu red lace. So that's where we are with this. I'm gonna stick it behind me in this chair. Maybe. Okay, there we go. So that's my Hue Shift Afghan by Kerin. Kerin Dimeler-Lawrence, yes. Okay. Again, also down below, all of the patterns will be mentioned. I should start linking my pattern pages because I do put in if I make modifications and what I do. Yeah, sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes you're given instructions that aren't super clear anyway, so having someone else explain what they did and how they got around it helps. And now for something I should probably put a progress keeper on, and I almost bought me some new progress keepers that had little possums on them, but I didn't. This is my Hermione's Everyday Sock. It's patterned by Erica Lueder. The yarn is Chromatic yarns in Don't Be a Sad Bear. This has been my happy sock, my happy knitting. It is slightly more than vanilla, and that's all I really wanted. I've put on some amount of rows since I last sat here, and I think I'm going to make the leg a little bit longer before I put in the heel. I will be doing the heel flapping gusset that calls for it in the pattern because I like it so much that I do it on all my socks. Because a heel flap fits my foot very nicely, and I like this one more than just a standard slip stitch heel. Plus I like having the garter stitch on the edge. It just works better for me. It's like this feels natural because I'm so used to working on socks and picking up garter stitch. I have my method. It works. It works. It's great. So, I'm going to sit here and just knit along. So, things that I have gotten in the mail. No yarn in the mail, but I'll show you the thing that I got weeks ago and didn't show. And oh wait, no. Before, hold that thought. This is Finnegan. He's an antique wheel. He's beautiful. That's not what I'm trying to show you. This is Finnegan's bobbin. This is Navajo-Churro. This is more than I've showed you last time. I know it is. Because there is a color difference that is not picked up very well, but you might be able to tell that right here, this little bit above my finger here, is a different shade than this. And that's because this was unwashed and this is washed. Did I notice a difference really in combing it? No. Will I wash the rest? Questionable. I don't think I'm very tempted not to. Let me put it that way. So let me set that down. I'll talk about this. Very tempted not to. Because, and only because, I did not notice a difference in combing it, and I did not notice a big difference in spinning it. Maybe it's because Navajo-Churro just doesn't have a ton of lanolin in it. Incredibly possible. I believe it. I have worked with, I have a Jacob fleece that I've been working through for years. Because it is so greasy, right? And I've scoured it multiple times. And it is still so greasy that my hands stick to the wool when I try to spin it. That is after, again, after cleaning it, scouring it multiple times, letting it dry, and then, going through that whole process, and it is, my hands end up so sticky from the lanolin. I have eyeliner on my hand. This I don't have that with. It literally just changes the color. Again, maybe it just doesn't have a lot of lanolin, and if that's the case, awesome. My plans for that. Let's move on to that. So I think the color will even out when I wash it anyway, when I go to set the twist and all that. So, my plans. I am going to finish spinning it. I am going to chain ply it, and then I'm going to figure out how much I have and how thick it is, and then I think I'm going to make a pair of mitts. Because the way it feels, right? So obviously once you've spun wool, you realize that wool, especially fleece, especially an unprocessed fleece, let me put it that way, an unprocessed fleece feels much different than, say, your very high micron, yes, you want the higher micron, high micron processed wool roving, right? Like a merino roving. And this is a Navajo-Churro. It's a long wool breed, tend to have a lower micron. It is a lamb's wool, so it's a little bit softer. My hands can take the beating, but I don't want to aspire to some like grand big project. However, I do have a gray fleece. Not what I'm going to show you here in a second. I do have a gray fleece that I might pair it with, and if that's the case, I might be able to eke out something different, like My Secret crop top by Jessie Maid. Might be able to eke out one of those in my size. We will see. We will see. If it ends up being a DK or worse, I might try it. Otherwise, I'm going to aspire to like a pair of mitts. Okay. since I've been outspoken about that and we've talked about that, I have from a sheep named Esther. And you can't tell at all that it is not black fleece. Can't even really tell what it is except for some wool. It smells delightfully sheepy. It's not nearly as dark as it's showing up. Let's see. I have a sticker here that I've been using to try to deal with the white balance. There we go. You can see that it's got some white in it. Yeah, it's more of a deep gray color. More of a charcoaly gray, less of a black. My shirt is black. My shirt's black, but it's a faded black because I've had it for a while. But like, I don't have anything super black. But it is more of a deep charcoaly gray, and I can see that really coming out when I spin it. And just touching it, like, generally if I shove my hands into some fleece, you can kind of tell just how greasy it is by like doing this, because your hands end up a little bit sticky, and that's entirely just because of the lanolin. And lanolin doesn't bother me, but it does make the process a little bit harder in the long run if there's too much. I don't mind spinning dirt everywhere. I don't mind spinning with a fleece that's dirty. What I do care about is how much lanolin is in it, because if it has too much lanolin, it's just too hard to try to spin. For me. I like a little bit of lanolin in my fleece, not gonna lie. I do like how it makes my hands feel. But when there's so much that your hands are just sticky, and like you feel them stick, that's when I gotta draw a line. So that's Esther's fleece. I got it it actually arrived a couple of weeks ago, and I just kind of decided not to show it for whatever reason. What I did just get, and keep in mind I record these a day before they go up. That way, if I have second thoughts, like, where I feel like I need to go back and re-record, I have a little bit of time. The thing I did get that I just got was a reprint of Subversive socks, which feature so many socks that are just, they're definitely me. They're just a little bit not necessarily super appropriate for a workplace. We'll put it that way. So I will show probably this page so you can get an idea of the patterns. You have colorwork socks like these. You have stripy socks. Here's more colorwork. I really like these socks. I like the band. More colorwork. There's these, and what it is they've pushed it down. It doesn't actually, let me see, sit that low on your leg. So there's color work, there's like socks with just little details, there's lace socks. Again, really like these socks. I will at some point knit me a pair of those. Try not to show off too much of any of the pattern. We continue flipping it. Now I think my next pair of socks is going to be these socks, which are the, yeah. I have a little bit of yarn that's coming in the mail. How can I show this without like giving away the pattern? Okay, that should help quite a bit. See, they actually sit really high up. Sticky notes, which are the least likely to destroy my book, to cover the pattern. Because these patterns are pretty much exclusive to this book, so I don't want to be giving them away. I have no problem. You have these, which are, check out my rack, and then on the back they say, nice ass. Oh, dad ass. Sorry. And, like, yeah. I really like this. It is a re-release. And pretty much every sock in here I love. And if I don't love them for myself, then I at least know that I could probably knit them for other people and they would get a giggle out of them. But for right now, I think the ones that I'm really looking to knit are, look, let's hold this up and I'll point. The anarchist ones, yeah. And these, yeah. I want to gift these to someone. The Bite Me ones are really funny. I might knit those for someone. The problem is, the only problem that I'm seeing, and this is no fault of the designer at all, who I believe is like Tabetha Hedrick, her name's on the front. The issue I see is because so many of the socks are color work, which stripes, that's fine, that works, that's easy enough to adjust. But a lot of these patterns cannot be adjusted to fit bigger sizes. The Bite Me, I believe, can. I think a lot of the lace ones, it's easy enough to fudge it. But, or the ones with the little holes in the back that are held, the little strips, those are cool. Those could probably be adjusted really easily. But a lot of the color work ones are very limited to who they can fit. There's no problem with that because it also is a chart that I can go ahead and use. And yeah. So. I'll work on my Don't Be a Sad Bear socks. They won't be a sad bear. So. What's going on? I think I'll give a brief life update and then like I'll call it there because I'm sure the dog is getting himself in some amount of trouble outside of this room. So if you go back, you look into the past, my past videos here, you will know that I had been at school. Just graduated. Actually, I just got my diploma. I'm so excited. And so, like, this is my big thing right now, right? Is I got my diploma. I graduated. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in History, focusing on 19th century America and the Civil War. Which, being around Richmond, like, this is my place, right? And so I'm now in this weird place. It is a weird place where I minored in computer sciences because I wanted to learn programming. And I did. I don't think some of my professors were necessarily the greatest. Because I've done classes on databases, or took a class on doing databases, and it was on MySQL. And I'm good. I'm comfortable with MySQL. I took an HTML and CSS class, so I could make a website. I just don't know enough JavaScript to make it really cool. I took quite a few classes in Java. Me and Java have a love-hate relationship. I really like Python. And because I mentioned game development earlier, I think that's where I need to be talking. So, I took the MySQL, I took networking, I took Java, I actually learned a little bit of Python. And, yeah, there's a lot of Java. And there's a lot of things that I just don't understand about Java still because I don't think they were very well explained. Like, if nothing else, I can explain the theory, but I can't explain how to do it. And general, here I'm causing mischief. So, like, yeah. But for what I want to, like, the engines that I'm wanting to work in, it's C languages, which again I know a little bit about, but I've never fully took the time to study because I didn't need to for my minor. It's a history major. I'm limited in what I can take. But yeah, so now I have to learn an entire new language to work in Unity, and I also have Unreal Engine, which for gamers, like Unreal Engine runs a lot of games. A lot of games run on Unreal. And that's fine. It's great. It's Unreal 4. It's not the newest, but pretty dang close. So now is working on C, trying to figure out how I want to implement this, and there's some history stuff that I do want to do with it. I think I might even use that as a basis for the first little thing I come out with. That way it's less thinking on my end. But we will see. So I'm gonna go. I'm going to think about spinning today, possibly. And I am streaming today. Remember, I record these on Thursday and post them on Friday. Oh, I upload them Thursday and they get posted on Friday. So, past Valentino will have probably might have spun a little bit and definitely would have gone live and will be going live on today. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go see what mischief the dog has caused. And until next time, I hope you are well. I hope you stay healthy. Wear your freaking mask outside, please, Kay. Thanks. Until next time, bye.